Marcus Rashford new contract. How much will he earn compared to Manchester United teammates? Marcus Rashford was one of Manchester United's star performers last season. The 25-year-old played a vital role in helping his team finish in the top four and also helped United lift the Carabao Cup too. He looked back to his best following a disappointing 2021-22 campaign, scoring 30 goals in all competitions, and his manager Erik ten Hag believes there is even more to come from him. The first part one think, yeah. With Marcus, there's a lot of room for improvement in his game and I'm convinced he could score even more, the Dutch coach told the club in May. I think when you take for instance the last 10 games he didn't score so many goals, I think only 2 or 3. He can improve but I'm happy where he was last season and what he did now and that he has brought himself back. So we are happy with that but yeah, we have to push for more, he went on to say. I'm sure he's capable of scoring 40 goals in the season and to make also for him the next step. Following Rashford's sensational performances last season, along with ten Hag believing he can hit even greater heights in a United shirt, it makes sense that the club wanted to tie him down to a new, long-term deal. Rashford's old contract only had 1 year left to run, and United were eager to extend his stay beyond the summer of 2024. Now, it appears like it is only a matter of time until his new deal is announced. According to David Ornstein in The Athletic, Rashford is set to sign a new 5-year contract at the Theatre of Dreams. The attacker had reportedly received more lucrative proposals from teams in England and across Europe, but Rashford turned them down to stay at his boyhood club. The exact number is not yet known, but according to reports, Rashford is set to become one of the top earners at United, and indeed, in the Premier League. Per a report from the Daily Mail, he will earn a whopping £375,000 per week. That is an absolutely huge pay rise, with Rashford currently on a wage of around £200,000 per week. Only Manchester City duo Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne, as well as Liverpool star Mohamed Salah, will earn more than the Englishman. A worthy reward for one of the best players in the league last season. How does that compare to United's other players? But just how much more is Rashford earning compared to United's other players? Well, thanks to Spottrack, a website which tracks the wages earned by players, we can see just how much more he will earn than some of his teammates. Some players have signed new deals this season though, so we have updated the list in places. And of course, there is a new boy on the block too. We have added Mason Mount to the rankings, with the Telegraph reporting that he is set to be one of United's highest earners with a base wage of £250,000. So, without further ado, here are the highest earners currently at United. 30. Teden Mengi -£5,000 per week. 29. Anthony Elanga -£5,000 per week. 28. Facundo Pellistri -£20,000 per week. 27. Amad Diallo -£29,000 per week. 26. Tom Heaton -£42,000 per week. 25. Alejandro Garnacho -£50,000 per week. 24. Scott McTominay -£60,000 per week. 23. Brandon Williams -£65,000 per week. 22. Tyrell Malacia -£75,000 per week. 21. Mason Greenwood -£75,000 per week. 20. Eric Bailly -£80,000 per week. 19. Diogo Dalot -£85,000 per week. 18. Aaron Wan-Bissaka -£90,000 per week. 17. Alex Telles -£93,000 per week. 16. Dean Henderson -£100,000 per week. 15. Donny van de Beek -£120,000 per week. Van de Beek became a highly promising midfielder at Ajax and was a vital part of Ten Hag's team which advanced to the semi-finals of the Champions League back in 2019. But after moving to United in 2020, it has been a torrid few years at Old Trafford for the Dutch midfielder, and he looks set to leave in the summer. 14. Lisandro Martinez -£120,000 per week. The Argentine endured a tough start to Premier League life during his first season at the club, and Jamie Carragher did doubt whether he would be a success at United. But Martinez's subsequent performances forced the former Liverpool man to apologize for his comments at the end of the season. The defender now looks to be worth every penny that United are paying him. 13. Victor Lindelof -£120,000 per week. According to the Daily Star, United triggered an option to extend Lindelof's contract at the club by another year back in April. That will keep him at the club until 2025, and Ten Hag even blocked a move to Bundesliga side Eintracht Frankfurt so that he has multiple centre-back options next season. 12 Fred -£120,000 per week. Fred in action for Man Utd vs Leicester City. Fred has been a regular starter in United's midfield over the last few years, and on his day, the Brazilian can be excellent. But Mount's arrival from Chelsea will see his playing time reduced, and United are now reportedly looking to move him on this summer. 11 Christian Eriksen -£150,000 per week. Eriksen was a bright spark for United, playing 28 matches in the Premier League and weighing in with 8 assists. As previously mentioned for Fred, Mount's arrival will likely see the Dane's game time drop next season. But the 31-year-old will be a good rotational option for Ten Hag to have at his disposal. 10 Harry Maguire -£190,000 per week. Things have not worked out for Maguire since his big money move from Leicester. Ten Hag recently decided to strip him of the captaincy, adding fuel to the fire that the central defender does not have a future at United. His wages are reportedly proving to be a stumbling block for any potential sale though. 9 Luke Shaw -£200,000 per week. Left back or centre back, Shaw played well over the course of last season, making a total of 31 league appearances for the Red Devils. His performances were rewarded with a new deal in April this year. That will keep him at the club until 2027, and according to the Daily Star, his wages have risen to £200,000 per week. 8 Antony -£200,000 per week. The Brazilian winger has had bright moments in a United shirt, with 4 goals and 2 assists in the league, as well as a special goal against Barcelona in the Europa League too. Having signed for such an expensive fee though, United fans will be hoping he can improve next season and help them challenge for more silverware. 7 Bruno Fernandes -£240,000 per week. Fernandes signed a contract extension in 2022 which will keep him at the club until 2026. And last season, he continued to be one of United's most important players. 14 goals and 13 assists for the Red Devils in all competitions is incredible output. Only Rashford was involved in more goals than the Portuguese midfielder. 6 Mason Mount -£250,000 per week. While the Telegraph report that Mount's base wage will be £250,000 a week, bonuses could see that deal increase to £300,000. That would mean Mount is a top 5 earner at United, and there are multiple reasons why the club have offered him such a lucrative wage. Since he made his Chelsea debut, nobody scored more goals or created more goals than Mount. He was also crowned Chelsea's Player of the Year twice, and he represents a real coup for United. 5 Anthony Martial -£250,000 per week. Martial has impressed at points since arriving at the club but has struggled to excel in recent times. He made just 11 league starts for United last season, but with the club intent on signing a new striker, it appears his time might be up. Martial has just 1 year left on his current deal too, but the club are reportedly struggling to sell him due to his lack of consistency and injury record. 4 Casemiro -£300,000 per week. The Brazilian holding midfielder has been one of the signings of the season, helping United finish in the top 4 and secure silverware in the Carabao Cup. Ten Hag admitted that the midfielder had exceeded expectations this season, but he will be hoping the former Real Madrid man can help his side reach an even higher level. 3 Raphael Varane -£340,000 per week. Varane continues to be a key presence for United, and although he was ruled out with multiple injuries at points last season, he still played a total of 34 games. He recently captained the side against Leeds during a preseason friendly, describing it as an honor. Might we see him lead the team out more frequently now that Maguire is no longer the club skipper? 2 Jadon Sancho -£350,000 per week. Nobody expected Sancho's move from Borussia Dortmund to have gone like this. He has just 12 goals and 6 assists from 79 appearances, and he looks a shadow of the man who consistently terrorized opponents in Germany. He is also burning a big hole in United's wage bill, and because of his lackluster performances, the Independent write that the club are prepared to offload the winger this summer. 1 Marcus Rashford -£375,000 per week. United's main man is set to be the highest earner at the club, replacing David De Gea who had earned a similar figure every week. Nobody had more goal contributions in all competitions for United last season, with Rashford's total of 39 some way in front of Fernandes' 27. That was also a career best for Rashford. If he manages to score 40 goals, as Ten Hag says he could, then there might be a case for him being the best winger in the club. Subscribe to Sport Live for more new and updates.